Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to another exciting episode of Chair to Face Wrestling Podcast with your hosts, Chrissy and Chris. And we are 4 days away from Mania, the greatest show on earth. We're so pumped. Let's get it started.
We
Who's
got
excited?
we got the
Who's
fever,
ready?
man. It is fever pitch, dude. We are one show away from the granddaddy.
Um,
It's gonna be off the chart. I can't
God,
wait.
I'm so excited. I'm so pumped up. Let's go. That's gonna be great. I'm so excited. This is my favorite time of the year besides Super Bowl, besides SummerSlam, and besides the Royal Rumble. This is my favorite season is
Yeah,
Mania.
this is the pinnacle, man. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
this is where dreams are won and lost, and just
History is
where
made.
yeah, it's the peak. Mania is one of those things that needs no explanation. It's WrestleMania. So
Even
I'm ready.
non-wrestling fans know that it is on like
Yeah,
Donkey Kong.
100%.
Um, So I first would like to thank everybody for watching and for continuing to watch our videos and for all of those people who viewed our YouTube shorts.
Dude, shout
Shout
out, man.
out to
That's
y'all.
awesome.
Keep
That's so
sharing,
cool.
watch, like, subscribe, share, comment. You hear something that you kind of want to debate with us about? Go ahead. Drop it in the comments wherever the comments are in this video. God, what else? Also, I was talking to a friend of ours and they have not responded, but I'm putting this out there. If John Cena wins and beats my boy, I will jump into a kiddie pool full of ice for 5 minutes. Just thought I'd throw that out there, internet, and I will record it and I will put it out there.
That's a risky bet at this
Some
point.
some
Uh
things were exchanged. And
whew.
I say, you know what? If he wins, then I will do this. I did tell him that if he loses, he has to do it. So
Well, did he agree to it? I know who you're talking about.
we haven't heard anything yet,
Yeah,
but
well, see, that's the caveat is you got to get him to agree to it.
so we'll
Because
see. We have 4 days.
he's the type that'll weasel out of it, if it at the slightest chance. So make sure you get him to commit to that.
Well, hopefully you're watching. And I'm praying to God that I don't have to jump into an ice bath. But here we go. So just a little recap. You know, we like to start it off with recaps. Um, Mr. Eye Patch Man, Drew McIntyre. I'm gonna call him the Eye Patch Irish, not Irish, my lord. The Eye Patch Scottish Warrior, Drew McIntyre, attacked Damien Priest, and I'm so excited for that match. I really, really hope that Damien beats the snot out of Drew McIntyre, but it's a toss-up of a coin for me. I'm kind of looking forward to seeing Drew, you know, take it all back at Mania. Um, that's a match that I'm highly looking forward to. A lot of this, if you think about it, has been kind of Drew's fault. He's let outside forces just kind of dictate how he wrestles and how he wins and how he dominates, which a lot of us wrestling fans, we have watched Drew go from the pretty boy Drew to the Scottish warrior Drew.
Right.
And he's definitely got something to prove to the wrestling world, and not only to the wrestling world and all of us fans, but also to himself as Drew McIntyre. So, kind of pumped to see what happens next in this little caveat of a storyline,
Yeah,
as
I
always.
think you hit the nail on the head with the whole he's got to prove it to himself kind of deal. I think that's kind of the angle that is being shot is that yes, he's listening to all of the haters and he's listening to all of the outside noise, which you have to try to block out if you're that kind of, if you're in that career, if you're in that line of work, you got to block out all the noise, and it's hard to do You know, you do get the sense, or I do anyway, that Drew is kind of due for a win. He's kind of been on the losing end of a lot of stuff recently. Um, but I tell you what, it's going to be the most physical match, maybe the whole Mania. It's going to be physical. It's going to be a brawl. It's going to be hard hitting. I feel like it's going to be a long, drawn out match. There's not a whole lot that they won't do to each other. And those are two beasts, man. They are physical and superhumanly athletic. Especially Drew. Drew's a freak. I mean, Damien's great. Don't get me wrong, but Drew is an absolute freak. Um,
I do love me a good street fight, and I'm highly looking forward to the to the beat downs.
yeah, it's gonna be physical, man. I really don't have a dog in that fight. Honestly, I like them both. I love the transformation of Damien Priest. I think he's come miles in his career, and I think you'll probably see him with a title here relatively soon if he keeps that momentum going. But again, I just feel like Drew is kind of due to win. He's kind of due to win a big match. Yeah, I'm with you. It's kind of a toss up at this point as to who's going to win, but I can't wait for the match. It's going to be an absolute brawl. JR used to call them slobber knockers.
Mm.
This is going to be one of those. It's going to be a knockdown, drag out fight. And yeah, they could steal the show. It's going to be awesome.
No, I'm living for it. I live for long, dragged out fights and brawls and the who. It's gonna be
Yeah,
amazing.
that's going to be a good one. That's one of those matches that's going to be in the mid card that you're going to look back on and go, "Damn, that could have been a main event."
Hmm.
Like at a regular premium live event, that is a main event. And that's the cool thing about WrestleMania is that these like I'm sure we're going to get into the triple threat match for the women's title. That could main event a premium live event. It just can't main event Mania because Mania is Mania and it's just so loaded. So I feel like the Drew Damien match we're going to look back on and go, whew, that was. I'm looking very, very forward to that match.
Maybe we'll get round two next year at WrestleMania, and
It
it'll be a
don't rule it out. that
and it'll be the main
if
event.
we look, if we have learned anything in the last 6 to 8 weeks in wrestling, between the Cena crap and Cody, and now what's going on with Roman and Punk and Rollins, which we're going to get into, if we have learned anything in the last 2 or 3 months, you do not count anything out.
Absolutely not. And then, of course, our champ has spoken. Um, Cody Rhodes came out Friday night. He did a promo. He had all the belts out.
Amazing promo.
Amazing promo. He shouted out to the Latino Heat, Eddie
Mm,
Guerrero,
yeah,
one of my personal favorite wrestlers.
no
And
way.
now is Cena going to take this belt and leave us all? In which we've been dragging this out in our little quick recaps. And like I said, yeah, we both know how this could or could not end. It is kind of a 50-50 toss-up of a coin at this point. It's either Cody's gonna win and Cena's gonna get a little peed off, um, or Cena's gonna win. He's gonna take the belt. We're gonna have another part-time champion, which I don't think any of us want. Um, like I was telling our friend, they can't take this belt away from Cody because of how much momentum the man has right now going on in the WWE and just the overall presence he has in the ring as well as with fans. And I don't know. I'm still kind of 50-50. I'm really, really hoping for an outcome, you know. But I don't know. It's anybody's guess at this point.
So I'm with you. It's kind of 50-50. I've said from the get-go, it's going to be very difficult to pull that belt off of Cody for all the reasons you said. Um, First off, I have to I can't go forward without commending Cody for shouting out Eddie Guerrero like he did. That was really really cool. He could have said a few different names when he got to that undisputed title. That's the one that Brock had when he was champion in like 2002. But to go to Eddie, that was really cool. So that's first thing. But back to Cena, it's really Cody has the edge right now. The last time we saw Cody and Cena in the ring together, Cody dropped him. And I think they're playing on that, and they want us to believe that Cody has the advantage to trick us at Mania. I don't know who's going to win, but I think either way, it's not a clean victory. I will tell you my suspicion. My and this has changed week by week by week as we've seen everything develop.
Right.
I was of the mindset that The Rock was going to get involved somehow, some way, and I do think that is still on the table. I am not. I'm not ruling that out. I think the more likely scenario is that we see an appearance in this match from Randy Orton. He does not have a match at WrestleMania, but you can't not have Randy at WrestleMania. He's going to make an impact. He's got a history with both of them, good and bad with Cena, good with Cody. I think it's one of those things where Randy gets involved, but you don't know if it's in favor of Cody or if Randy's going to turn and drop Cody and allow Cena to win. And then Orton can go on and take the belt off of Cena. And then Cody wins it from Randy. Like it could go. I'm literally guessing. But Randy not having a match and it's Cody and Cena in the main event, I think it's the perfect opportunity for Randy to get involved. And Triple H earlier today dropped a spoiler. I don't know if you saw this or not, but he released the promo art for Backlash
Mm.
pay-per-view that comes post-Mania, the premium live event that comes post-Mania. It's Randy Orton with a bunch of snakes all around him. You can go and look on Triple H's Instagram, and Triple H put in the caption, after every WrestleMania, there's always a backlash. And it's Randy Orton. I think I think Randy gets involved. I don't know how. I don't know on whose side he's going to be because remember what he said a few weeks ago when he came out and talked to Cody. He said that I'm coming for that belt. So we know Randy wants the belt. Is it easier at this point for Randy to take the belt off of Cody or John? I I, I don't know. Like I don't know. Either way, I don't think it's clean. Randy could get involved. Like if The Rock gets involved and then Randy comes out on Cody's behalf and evens the odds, then Cody feels like he's entitled to give Randy a shot. But I have a problem with it, Christina, because Cena is advertised through like SummerSlam. If Cena doesn't win at Mania, what do you do with him? Like, what is the point of him winning in the chamber and earning the title shot and the heel turn and the unification with The Rock and the bad heel promos and kicking Cody in the nuts? I mean, like all of this stuff that he's done, and he's gonna lose at WrestleMania, and then what? Like, if he's advertised throughout the next 6 months, he's got to have something. So, like, I don't know. I feel like it's very difficult to have Cody lose. I really do. But at the same
Um,
time, all the signs, to me anyway, are pointing to the opposite outcome. I don't know.
I also, what I mean, like we said, wrestling is one of those things where it's so unpredictable, but it is predictable, you know? And especially with us being this many days away, 4 days
Yeah.
away from WrestleMania, anything can happen. Here is my devil's advocate into this. Randy Orton doesn't have a match at WrestleMania, which we all know this. You can't have a WrestleMania without the Viper Randy Orton. We already saw John Cena sell his soul and everything to The Rock. The Rock we have not seen or heard from since Elimination Chamber when all this crazy shit went down.
Right.
What if Randy Orton goes to The Rock and somehow slithers his little way into WrestleMania, and now he's on The Rock's payroll, so to speak,
Mm,
and he's with John Cena, which, like you said, they both have history with one another. Um, Randy Orton and Cody Rhodes had a tag team together. They were called Legacy, if I
hmm
remember correctly. And then, of course, John and Randy had some amazing matches. Like just amazing, phenomenal matches. They were always throwdown brawls. They were phenomenal. So what if Randy aids John Cena with getting the belt? And then Randy then turns around and screws John Cena because you never trust the Viper. And he takes the belt from John Cena. And then Cody goes and takes the belt from him.
Right. Like it's all feasible. Like
It's just a weird little triangle.
I have trouble with, just from a, like, if I'm Triple H, right? If I'm writing, if I'm doing creative, I have trouble with, you put all this momentum behind Cena's return. You get him down to the final two at the Rumble, and Jey Uso eliminates him. Then you let him in at Chamber, and he wins, and he turns, and he's got all this momentum. He joins The Rock, and then he loses at WrestleMania. So what do you do with him? Like, I mean, it's like there's nowhere to go with it. Whereas if Cody loses, you can just start another redemption story. Like if Cody gets screwed at Mania, which is the direction that I'm leaning, okay, you can build. Cody doesn't have to be built up. People are already on his side, and people are going to be even more on his side if he gets screwed. And so you can use that to bolster him and he's writing another story. You can do something like that, but it's only if Cena wins. And if Cena becomes part-time, then whoever wants to come out and talk shit on Cena can do it, and they're going to try to lure him back in. And I feel like from a writer's point of view, Cena almost has to win. Uh, I mean, unless he loses at Mania and The Rock steps in and says, "I'm the boss," he gets another title shot at this event. Like The Rock's got to play into this somehow. I think Randy plays into it on Sunday. Ah, can't wait.
I'm so excited. And then of course, Charlotte and Tiffany, that rivalry is getting so personal, almost to a disturbing point. I mean, not surprised. Tiffy brought up this woman's divorce and we saw how that ended. And then Charlotte came out and attacked Tiffy and um another rivalry that I feel rivalry. Please say that like 20 times fast and
It's a
think that
tough
it's
word.
easy to say. The battle, there we go, between Naomi and Jay Cargill is also heating up. That is, I feel, getting really personal too. Like,
Mhm.
just these four women are doing an amazing job. And I just feel like everything between the four of them is just so raw and so personal. And I'm living for Naomi's heel promos. They are
Fantastic.
beautiful, absolutely beautiful.
Yeah.
We should all proceed with caution when it comes to Naomi right now. And then right now with Charlotte and Tiffany, I'm just going to keep bouncing between the two. Just follow with me here, people. Um, it all connects, okay?
Yeah.
And Tiffany and Charlotte, I don't know if this is true or not, or if it actually did happen. I did see a little video posted out there in social media that apparently Charlotte had attacked Tiffany before
And like
that
on the
Friday.
street or the parking lot or something. I saw that. Yeah.
Wild.
Yeah. I this is weird for me because I think there's a little more, and I don't want to read into it too much because I don't know. But I've been hearing that the locker room is kind of upset with Charlotte because she's taking this stuff so personally. The way she's treating other people in the locker room is very demeaning. I'm not sure where that's coming from. I'm not sure if Tiffany actually really did strike a personal chord with Charlotte and maybe she didn't mean to, but like I don't I can't get a gauge on how real or not real that is. Um I still feel that the outcome will be the same as we talked about last week. I think, quite frankly, I think the belt is Charlotte's to lose. Um, going to be interesting to see how they do in the ring because I again I just don't think they mesh well. I don't think they're on the same level, promo and Mike wise. I talked about that on the last episode, and I think Tiffany maybe got a hair too personal. I really do. Rookie mistake. She's never been. We got to give Tiffany a little bit of a pass because she's never been on this stage as the champion going into Mania against maybe the greatest women's wrestler of all time. So I give her a little bit of a pass, rookie mistake kind of thing. But at the same time, you know, it's one thing to make a joke about Rick, right? I mean, everybody's made jokes about Ric Flair.
Right, yeah.
It's a whole different story to get into divorces and being alone. And I just don't know that because the immediate reaction from Charlotte was, oh, that's why Kaiser's in my DMs kind of thing. We touched on it
Yeah,
last
yeah.
time.
We
But
did.
it's like for that transaction to take place, I don't know if this is not real and if this is, if they have talked about this and they're on the same page, man, they're doing a great job of passing it as they're not getting along. So again, very, very excited for the match. I think it's going to be a good match. I think Charlotte's is the belt to lose. As far as Naomi goes, she's incredible. I had no idea that Naomi had that in her. I don't think many people did. But I am looking forward to seeing her and Jade go at it too. Two superstar athletes, two women that are extremely powerful in a lot of ways. One is a seasoned vet. The other one is pretty green. Um, you want to feel like Jade's going to win because it would kind of wrap up the story in a way. Never know though. I mean, Naomi's heel thing, as you mentioned, I'm here for it too, man. It's great. I didn't know Naomi had that in her.
She's doing amazing as a heel. I'm loving the promos. I'm loving how she's carrying herself as a heel. She is definitely meaning business when it comes to Jade and their match going into WrestleMania. And then with the whole Tiffany and Charlotte thing, I feel the same. But I really honestly feel that this has become a personal thing. There's no way on God's green earth that these two are like, okay, let's talk about how we're gonna do the promo tonight. I want you to call me out on my divorce and on this and on that. May Shad, no.
Yeah,
No.
I feel the same way.
No. That is something that you don't do, even just in the regular universe and not
Right.
wrestling. Let's just throw this out there, right? Let's say that there's someone that I don't like, right? And I know that the way I can hurt them is by saying, "Oh, well, you're just gonna be alone for the rest of your life because you've had X amount of divorces and you're in your 30s, 40s." Like, don't you think that's a little embarrassing? That's kind of messed up.
Yeah.
Now, granted, Tiffany is a very young woman.
Hmm.
She's just getting into this business. This is her first WrestleMania. This is her first time on a big stage like this, and that can be intimidating for anybody. But girlfriend, we don't bring up the divorces.
Yeah. Yeah.
Make jokes all you
It's
want about anything. And
you,
Charlotte's
you
clapping back to,
right, right. Like you get the feeling that Charlotte didn't see that coming, and the immediate like it was so quick and it was so like boom, it kind of took me back like damn, that it had a palpable uneasiness to it. It was a very, yeah, it doesn't feel staged. It doesn't feel like a work. It feels like it's gotten truly personal. Which is going to make it, if that's the case, it's going to make this match on are they Saturday or Sunday? I'm not sure if they're Saturday or Sunday, but
I'm gonna take a guess and say Sunday.
okay. Well, whenever they are, it's going to make this match even more interesting because if there is a I don't want to use the word hate, but if there's a hatred factor there, how willing are they going to be to work with each other in the ring? Like I don't know. I don't want to speak, beyond my. I don't want to step beyond my realm here, but it feels a little too real to me. That's just the feeling I get from it.
And with all that being said, in real honesty, I hope that Charlotte maybe takes some time to herself and works on herself as an individual getting through a divorce. And I hope that she seeks somebody to talk to get through it on a mental health standpoint, because this kind
Yeah,
of sucks, and yeah, you've done it 3 times. That's not your first rodeo, but still, like, it hurts. So I feel like a lot of that is bleeding into her work life because, of course, you don't know. A lot of us struggle with that. You can't keep your home life from your personal life and your personal life from your work life. And it just all blends together. And maybe that's what's happening. She's angry and she's bleeding her personal into her work life. And you
yeah,
know what? Either way, I hope Charlotte work works on it and
yeah.
gets through it. Um, and last night, can we talk about the elephant in the room? Poor Paul Heyman. They
Hmm.
did my dude dirty. They did him dirty. My God, that was a great interaction between all three guys last night. Was not expecting the Seth Rollins "you owe me a favor, Paul." Like, Paul has too many favors to be handing out like he's Oprah Winfrey. Favor for you, you have a favor, you have a favor, you have a favor. Man, exhausting.
Yeah. So I don't want to say I told you,
Yeah.
but I kind of did like almost a month ago. Look, everybody, and rightfully so, everybody is so eaten up with Roman and CM Punk. And look, fair. But I said from the very beginning that there's a third party in this situation. And that guy has been known to shock us. He has been known to do things that we never expected. It's Seth Rollins, man. This is the guy that broke up the Shield. This guy that joined the Authority. This is the guy that will do just about anything to get what he wants.
But it's best for business.
So, and the chair shot to the back of Roman
Again,
on Monday. It's so symbolic. But back to the Heyman thing. Heyman finds himself in a spot. And this was my prediction from the very beginning was he's with Roman and Roman's done so much for him as much as he's done for Roman. And CM Punk's his best friend, and he doesn't want to pick between the two. So the logical option is to join the third guy. Heyman has done some crazy stuff before as well. Heyman is unpredictable. Heyman lives on the edge, and he would be the first to tell you he's not going to do what you think he's going to do. He is going to walk down to that ring and he's going on Saturday nights. It's the main event on Saturday. That one I know. He's going to walk down to that ring with CM Punk and he's going to be in CM Punk's corner. And there is going to come a point when Heyman is going to get involved in this match. one way or another. And at that point, he will make the decision. Do I side with my best friend that has pretty much always been there for me? Do I side with the guy that I have the most history with of the three, which is Roman? For the last 5 years, we've dominated the industry. Or do I just not choose between the two? And I take the easy way out. I take the coward's way out, and I join the guy that at this point needs me the most. What what would CM Punk do? I mean, what would Paul Heyman do for CM Punk's career at this point?
He's
CM Punk
already
is
elevated.
correct. CM Punk is established. CM Punk is a first ballot Hall of Famer. CM Punk's career is enshrined. Okay. Roman Reigns? Roman Reigns has a case of being in the top 10 of all time. Like that's how amazing this run that he's been on with Heyman is. But it's like you ask yourself, what is there left for them to do? The answer is nothing. So the one guy whose legacy is maybe not cemented, although it is in my mind, the one guy who is still he's achieved greatness, but he hasn't achieved that level of this is the man kind of thing. Seth is the only guy that hasn't had that yet. Seth is the one guy out of the three that at this point in his career, Paul Heyman would make a huge difference for. And so that was my prediction from the beginning. And what favor Heyman owes Seth, I have no idea. I don't know why. I'm sure we'll find out probably after WrestleMania. But this match is gonna this match is gonna be crazy. And I'm gonna throw one more thing out there and I'll let you have the floor. Never, ever, ever rule out. I understand how far-fetched this is going to sound, and there's going to be a bunch of people that comment on that say, dude, really? You're going there? Just hear me out. We're forgetting about the one man that when the shit hits the fan for Heyman, as it has multiple times in his career, the one man that has always stepped up, accepted him, and been there for him is who?
Roman Reigns.
Brock Lesnar.
Oh shit, I didn't think about that.
Now, I know he was named in this lawsuit with McMahon and all the stuff that's going on. I get it, and I understand how crazy and far-fetched that sounds. I'm not saying that it's going to happen. I don't think it is. But I am telling you, do not rule out 100% Brock Lesnar showing up on Saturday night. It has happened before.
I've been seeing a lot of people talking. I'm not counting it out. And here's why. Is because, which, if you do have some thoughts or some comments and you would like to tell us, please, there's a comment section. Jump into it. Type up your little comment in that little comment section. Don't be afraid. We're not going to bite and we're not going to hit you with a chair. But this is a good discussion because I did not think about Brock Lesnar and I he is another Paul Heyman guy.
He's the Paul Heyman guy.
Yes.
He is the guy. Listen, Paul Heyman saved CM Punk's career.
Absolutely.
You could make a strong argument that Paul Heyman saved Roman Reigns' career. Brock Lesnar saved Paul Heyman's career. Heyman was done. And then Heyman went and found Lesnar and introduced him to Vince, and that was it. And then Brock Lesnar, as we know, I don't want to get into too much of a history lesson, but he went on an absolute tear. And look, you want to talk about first ballot Hall of Famers. Lesnar's it.
The man is
But
biologically a beast.
oh my God, he's the alpha male of our
Look, his daughter is a beast too. She is
yeah,
rocking it over at Arizona State,
yeah,
if
she
I
is.
do remember correctly, and she literally looks like a
So
carbon
it's
copy.
anytime Heyman has been in a bind, okay, anytime Heyman has had a big decision to make or something to, like when he's backed into a corner, Lesnar has been there to save the day every single time. Add in the fact that Lesnar has history with all three of the men in this match and a long history with all of them. I'm not saying it's going to happen because I know there are some legitimate legal issues here because whatever lawsuit this person against Vince, she named Brock Lesnar in the lawsuit. So the thought is that Lesnar's career in WWE is over. I don't buy that one bit. Don't be surprised. Don't be shocked if that music hits. I'm just saying, don't be
Look,
surprised.
I didn't know CM Punk was coming back to the WWE after he left the WWE and after he trashed and badmouthed the World Wrestling Entertainment for many, 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 many reasons.
That's right.
Yes, not valid, but some of them are valid.
Oh, 100%.
Now that we're not going to get into a history lesson about Vincent Kennedy McMahon. He is the reason that we are here talking about these guys today, okay?
Agreed.
But still, the things that have come out about him
Sick.
are disgusting.
Yeah, sick.
If I'm gonna put it bluntly, are disgusting. And as wrestling fans, that makes us feel like you don't talk about it because it's so taboo
Hmm.
and you don't want to talk about it. But
Yeah.
back to the Brock Lesnar thing, being that he was brought up in this lawsuit and the career that he has had, I wouldn't be surprised if he came back. I've seen a lot of people posting about it in just different wrestling groups that I'm in on Facebook. I don't count anything out with World Wrestling Entertainment with any kind of WWE superstar, WWE women's superstar. Like, for example, Becky Lynch, she was at an improv recently. She said that she doesn't wrestle anymore. Her husband wrestles. She hasn't been in the wrestling scene for about a year now.
Hmm.
Kudos to her. She's living her best life. She's raising her child. I don't count the man Becky Lynch out.
No,
She could come
no.
back whenever she chooses to come back, but she's choosing
Yeah.
to be a mother. And that is so admirable. And I love that for her because they have a beautiful child. But anyway, I'm not
Oh,
counting Brock Lesnar out.
just a quick note. Don't forget who's in charge here. Okay. Triple H has a very, very long history with Mr. Lesnar. And they like each other. And if it meant dollar signs, and it does, Triple H would say, F the lawsuit.
It's best for
I'm
business.
running this now. Brock, if you want to be at Mania, be at Mania. I'm telling you, there may come a point where Heyman, and this is just a vision I have, but can you imagine? Just try to think of this for a second. It is late in the match on Saturday, fever pitch, crowds so into it, okay? Heyman is in the middle of the ring because he's getting involved in the match, because he's torn on who to side with. He wants Punk to win, but he wants Roman to win. And then there's the Seth factor, who now apparently he owes a favor to. So Heyman keeps getting involved in the match. And Heyman is in the middle of the ring, and Punk, Seth, and Roman surround him. And he's got that Heyman look on his face, okay? And all of a sudden, Brock Lesnar's music hits. Are you kidding me? And he comes out and wipes everyone out and says, to hell with all of y'all. It doesn't matter who wins because I'm still here. You didn't think I was here. You didn't remember I was here, but I'm here. Just an idea, just a vision. I don't think it's going to happen, but stranger things have happened. This is the WWE.
Look, I'm not counting it out. And if you have an idea, a comment, a emotion that you would like to share, pop it in the comments. And then let's see some more little snippets of Raw. Logan Paul.
Mm,
As an Ohioan, I would like to say that we do not claim Logan Paul as our own of native Ohio. Um, I never liked Logan Paul. I think he's icky and gross, and we disowned him from Ohio. He doesn't exist in Ohio. I'm really hoping that AJ Styles really shows him who the phenomenal one is. And a great question, is Logan Paul really good for the business? Because everybody
yes,
hates him.
yes. He okay. I am not a Logan Paul fan either. I don't I don't dislike him, but I do think he is a little extra. Um he is good for business. He's good for business because everybody hates him. That's the whole idea.
As a woman, I want to punch him in the face. His face is
Yeah.
a face that I literally want to punch.
So this okay. So the Logan AJ thing, this is a matchup between these two guys could not be more opposite if they tried. Logan is, as you mentioned, Ohio, Northeast Ohio. Okay. AJ Styles is Southern Georgia. Complete opposite. Okay. AJ's been in the business for 30 years. Logan Paul is a part-time wrestler that happens to be pretty athletic and obnoxious and got an opportunity. AJ's had to work from day one, grinding his ass off in the indies and then becoming Mr. TNA to get to where he is now. They've taken two opposite journeys to this day. Logan can't even keep a girlfriend. AJ's been married to his wife for 25 years and has a family. Logan finally has somebody and he's becoming a dad, which is great. It's great for him, but it took him a long time. AJ's been established in every aspect of life. And then there's the age gap. AJ Styles is going to be 48 years old in June. Logan's young. Like these are polar opposites. I think AJ wins, and I think AJ wins convincingly because Logan has put him down 2 weeks in a row with that new the impul whatever he calls that
The pulverizer.
pulverizer. There you go.
Okay.
Which actually, it's a halfway decent move, but
It's a
whatever.
pretty decent move, but
You know,
whatever.
but
Logan Paul.
listen. uh, the underappreciation, and I told you I was going to touch on this when we talked last night. So if you excuse my little bit of a soapbox here,
Hop on it.
the underappreciation and the underwhelming reaction and the kind of la-ti-da behavior when it comes to AJ Styles is criminal. People need to wake up and appreciate how good this dude is. And I'm only telling you that because I've said the same thing about Cena for the last 6 or 7 years. When Cena started to kind of become more part time, I kept saying, you better enjoy him while he's here because when he's not here anymore, you're going to miss him. AJ Styles went on Chris Van Vliet's podcast. Shout out to Chris Van Vliet. Few weeks ago, month ago, however long ago it was, and said he's not wrestling at 50 years old. So there's going to be an AJ Styles farewell tour happening pretty soon. This is one of the last WrestleManias that he is ever going to be a part of. That dude is like, yeah, he's the phenomenal age. He's beyond phenomenal. I hope he kicks Logan Paul's ass. There's no other way to say it. I think he will. I think AJ will be victorious because he's been on the receiving end the last 2 weeks. So they've built it up. I think it's AJ's to win. But people better enjoy this while it's here. I'm gonna make a bold prediction right now that we're gonna come on the air on this show next week, post Mania. That match could steal the show. I'm not a huge Logan Paul fan, but the dude does some crazy shit in the ring. He is crazy athletic, and he does have a move set that very few have. Combine that with AJ, even at 48 years old, I don't care. That has real potential to be the sleeper match of the entire event. Looking forward to that one. Go AJ.
Yeah, so, like my co-host and my good friend said, a lot of you people sleep on AJ Styles. Let's be real here. I'm gonna hop on the soapbox too. I'm gonna preach it. I've been watching wrestling most of my life. Grew up watching WCW, grew up watching WWF, which is now WWE. We also watched TNA in my household. AJ Styles was one of my all-time favorite wrestlers. Not only was he a very good-looking man, because I was a preteen, and I thought that everybody looked good. Okay? Don't judge me. Come at me, bro. But the man was amazing in the ring then.
What?
He's amazing now. He will forever be amazing. But this is probably the last hurrah, you know? Not everybody can wrestle forever, and one day the wrestler's gonna take their boots, they're gonna lace them up for the last time, and they're gonna hang them up. And they ride off into the sunset and they do their thing. Like Stone Cold Steve Austin, for example, has a whole ranch, has cats, never thought I'd see the rattlesnake posting videos on Instagram about his cat. I love
What?
it. He's living his best retired life.
What?
AJ Styles deserves us as fans to appreciate him while he's here because he has busted his ass for many, 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 many years. And I feel like he's underappreciated and I feel like he's underutilized and I feel like he's not
He is criminally underrated.
exactly. And it's not fair.
And I tell you what would make me super, super happy is if he went on one more title run. I'm not even the world title or whatever.
Intercontinental would be
Right.
great too.
I want one more AJ Styles title run before it's all over.
And look, again, I'm not a Logan Paul person. I've never liked Logan Paul. His face makes me want to punt kick it across a football
He
field.
does have a very puntable face. I'll
Like,
give you that.
I would like to see Pat McAfee take a shot at Logan Paul and like kick him into a field goal. That
Yeah.
is how Logan Paul makes me feel.
Yeah. I'd like to see Randy Orton get his hands on it,
Ooh.
on him in the skull.
Look, his move sets are really
Yeah.
I kudos to Logan Paul. Kudos to him. Okay? He does some pretty sick moves in the ring. Okay? But I don't like him. And as an Ohioan, I hope all my other Ohio people um, band together with me and we like just cut him out. Like you cut out someone from the will when they are a Michigan fan and they're an Ohio State fan from birth. The Ohio State University.
D.
Let me fix that. The Ohio State University. If your child, for example, is a Wolverine fan in Ohio, you're written out of the will. So we should do that to Logan Paul. And that's my soapbox.
Pipe bomb.
So, continuing onward, my friends, on this journey we call wrestling. Monday Night Raw was pretty good last night.
It was.
Everything's heating up. I'm looking forward to Rhea Ripley, Io Sky, and Bianca Belair. The promos between the three, their little video cuts last night were pretty good. I can't remember if Bianca did one or not. My brain has been all over the place. Don't
Yeah.
judge me. Yeah, she did one too. Um, I feel like that's still going to be a toss-up of the hat. I'm really hoping for Rhea to win. I honestly could care either way, because I love all three of the women equally. They are
Agreed.
so beyond athletic, and I either way, I'm fine with it.
Yeah, that
But
match doesn't have a bad outcome.
no, no. Also, I really need Rey Mysterio to unmask El Grande Americano
Oh
because we
God.
all know it's you, Chad Gable.
Jesus.
Don't play games, okay?
Kurt Angle Jr. over here.
You're El Grande Americano. We
God.
know. We know who you are. Just take the mask off, bro. Like, oh, I'm sick. I can't come into work today. I'm sick. Oh, bull crap. Bull crap.
Yeah, I'm backing Ray in that match for sure.
Oh my God. Like that's a joke in its
How great is Rey Mysterio,
Oh
man?
man,
God,
he's
how many
amazing.
WrestleManias is this for Rey Mysterio? 20?
Yeah.
Like, golly, man, he is just he's incredible, man.
I was watching some older matches because I
Oh my
watch
God,
WrestleMania every single year. And my husband had even commented, he's like, that's Ray? He's like,
dude.
that's Randy Orton? Randy
Yeah,
was so young. I said, I know. He's like, how old was he here? And we were watching WrestleMania. We'll get to it because
It was
we'll
Rey
get to the next.
Mysterio, Randy
Uh-huh.
Orton, and Kurt Angle.
Yeah. And he was
Right.
tw
Yeah.
Randy was
22.
26 actually in that WrestleMania. My husband said, "That's Randy?" I say,
Yeah.
"Yeah."
WrestleMania 22. That was great.
hmm
Yeah.
Which,
The other main event that night,
hmm
Triple H and John Cena.
I rewatched that match too, and
I
that was
remember it
great.
well.
That was great. So now we're gonna segue now into Rushmore.
Oh, I knew that was coming.
It's Mania season, so I'm keeping a central theme. My top favorite Mania matches.
Mania matches.
Mania matches. Very hard. I
God.
even have a honorable mentions match post-it note. It was very, very difficult to pick my favorites out of 41 WrestleManias.
Yeah, that's gonna be.
I'm
Woo.
30, so you can only
Yeah.
imagine the amount of Manias that I have watched.
Yeah.
So, first, I'd like to start it off with Bret Hart versus Shawn Michaels at WrestleMania 12 for an Iron Man match for the title. That match, let me just say, phenomenal slobber knocker. Shawn Michaels coming down from the rafters, one-handed, just coming down.
Old goat.
The GOAT! He's the GOAT! The GOAT!
Oh,
Fighting Bret Hart, which, I love Bret Hart. I'm a Bret Hart person, but he kind of did WWE dirty
just a little.
just a little bit, just a tiny bit. That match was really great. I think every wrestling fan, even if you're not a wrestling fan and you're just getting your feet wet with wrestling, you should go and watch that Iron Man match.
Oh my God. What a match.
You want to share your thoughts, expressions on the Iron Man match?
Well, that's one of my four. Yeah, that's well, it was the first Iron Man match. It was the first 60-minute Iron Man match ever. Um, Inarguably the two most popular wrestlers at the time. The I mean, it's gotta be top three or four rivalries in the history of wrestling. Um, Sean's entrance, Brett and the underlying story there that was yet to come. Um, yeah, that was it was an incredible performance. Sean is uh, there are probably two or three on my Mount Rushmore of Mania matches that involve Sean because he's Mr. WrestleMania for a reason.
Yeah, you can't have a
Um,
Mania without Sean.
no. And so, yeah, I'm in 100% agreement about the Iron Man match. It's definitely on my, it's one of my four for sure.
I feel like it definitely could have been the seed planted for Bret Hart in his next year with Stone Cold, and then we go into his heel, and then he says, "Screw you, Vince," and he goes to WCW. Yeah, I just mentioned this man, Rey Mysterio. So I'm putting it out there. WrestleMania 22 was a phenomenal WrestleMania in itself. The match cards were just amazing. That was the first Mania without Eddie Guerrero. Shout out to, Rip Eddie.
Shout out Eddie, man.
No, God. But Rey Mysterio, I put that match down because he won the heavyweight title. And Rey has always been one of my favorite wrestlers because I'm a 5'3" woman. I'm short. And, you go for the underdog. And Rey was just so cool. And he is still so cool. And he was the smallest guy out of giants. But he beat Kurt Angle and Randy Orton that night for the World Heavyweight title. And it was an emotional win, being that he was Eddie's friend. He commemorated
Yeah.
his Royal Rumble match to Eddie, and he lasted the longest, I think, like an hour in the Rumble that year and won.
Yep.
So that match, I think a lot of people need to go back and watch. And just you can't count Ray out.
No,
Anything
Ray's
Ray
great.
does is just amazing. Segueing into the next one of my personal favorites is Stone Cold Steve Austin. I got married on 316 day because why not? I do what I want. And Stone Cold's amazing. So I chose Stone Cold and Bret Hart in the Submission Mania match at WrestleMania 13.
Yep.
I went back and watched that match a couple days ago, and I forgot how brutal
It was.
that
Yeah.
was
Hmm.
and how bloody Stone Cold was. That definitely was a surprise for me because I was really young when that match had happened. So watching it again was pretty awesome as an adult. Highly recommend. Another recommendable match for a lot of newer wrestling fans and even older wrestling fans. If you just want a little brush up on your WrestleMania history and your wrestling history, go back and watch that match. And my final one, and this was hard. This was so hard. Like I said, I have a post-it note of honorable mentions. That is how hard this one was.
It's very hard. Very
Eddie
difficult.
Eddie Guerrero and Kurt Angle for the WWE title. That was a very good match.
Hmm.
Um, he was one of the best that laced up a pair of boots. If you don't know who Eddie Guerrero is, I think you need to go back and watch some of his promos. You need to watch the one between him and Brock Lesnar for
I
right
am
before
an
No Way Out.
addict.
Yeah, I am an addict. I get high every night I come into this ring and I hear these people.
God, man.
So I was reading something about that. Brock didn't know that he was going
No,
to go that
no,
personal.
nope.
He didn't know that. And Eddie had battled his own demons. He went through alcohol and drug abuse, if I do remember correctly.
Oh, yes.
And the man came back afterwards and he was clean. He got right with God and I got goosebumps just thinking about Eddie Guerrero and thinking about that promo. And as a kid, when he died, oh my God, I boohoo cried.
Hmm. Oh,
Oh,
me
I
too.
ugly sobbed. I was like, oh my God, not Eddie. I told my dad, I said, but we just watched him on TV last week. What
Yeah.
happened? Yeah,
Yeah.
that was heartbreaking. And I know we're way over time, and I'm so sorry about that, but it's okay. This is Chris and Chrissy from Chair to Face Wrestling Podcast. I hope that you have enjoyed this very long-winded episode. We had a lot to uncover tonight, and Mania is going to be amazing, and I
Happy
think everyone needs to
WrestleMania week,
jump into
people.
it. 4 days, and now we're going to three.
Love
Have a
it.
great night, everybody. Peace out.